Now we have our chapter 4, that is air. The blanket of air that surrounds Earth is called atmosphere. Atmosphere is blanket of air or envelope of air that surrounds Earth. So the first topic is composition. What is composition of atmosphere? The different gases are present in the atmosphere. So what is the quantity of the different gases? The most abundant is nitrogen, 78%. The second abundant is oxygen, that is 21%. The third abundant is argon, that is 0.93%. The fourth abundant is carbon dioxide, that is 0.03%. And there are several other gases that comprise a very small part, which is equals to 0.04%. Okay. Nitrogen, this is one of the most important gases that is essential for life processes, like used by plants for nitrogen fertilizers. We also inhale some amount of nitrogen for our essential body activities. Oxygen for breathing, it is a very essential gas. Carbon dioxide, it is also essential gas in maintaining the atmosphere. But now carbon dioxide is another important gas. Green plants use carbon dioxide to make food by the process of photosynthesis, and when they make food by the process of photosynthesis, they exhale oxygen, which is inhaled by living organisms like human beings and animals, and they exhale carbon dioxide. So that maintains a balance between these two gases. But now human activities like burning of fossil fuels and automobile exhaust, industries exhaust, so that has just disturbed the balance between these two gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now the next topic is structure of atmosphere. Contains 5 layers. The first layer is we are talking from land to the upper atmosphere. The first layer is troposphere, extends till 13 kilometers. All weather conditions takes place like rainfall, fog, mist, etc. The second layer is stratosphere, extends up to 50 kilometers. Ozone layer is present in this, which protects the earth from harmful UV rays. It is a cloudless layer, so that's why aeroplanes fly in this stratosphere. The third is mesosphere. It extends from 50 to 80 kilometers. Meteoroids from upper space comes in this layer and they burn. Meteoroids burn. The next is thermosphere. Temperature changes rapidly. Temp rapidly changes. That is increases. Extends between 80 to 400 kilometers. It contains a zone that is called ionosphere, where radio transmissions takes place. Radio transmissions. It reflects back the radio waves to the earth. The last is exosphere. A very little is known about this layer to human beings, and it is the last layer. Gases like helium and hydrogen are present in this layer, and even they float. Weather and climate. The next topic is weather and climate. Weather, hour to hour and day to day changes in atmosphere. Hour to hour, day to day changes in atmosphere. atmosphere. The next is climate. Average weather conditions. Weather conditions over a long span of time. Span of time is called climate. Like rainy, like winter climate, summer climate, monsoon climate. That is air pressure. Air is everywhere, so air exerts some pressure on us, on everything which is present on this surface of the earth. So the weight of air column at a point is called air pressure. It's called air pressure. Now the next topic is wind. Movement of air from high pressure to low pressure is called wind. There are three types of winds: permanent, seasonal and local. Let's talk about permanent winds first. Permanent. They blow throughout the year. Like this is Earth. This is the equator, 0 degree. Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south. Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north. Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree north. Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree south. Okay, and this is the equator. So equator being a low pressure zone, so as we have defined earlier, wind flows from high pressure to low pressure. Equator is a low pressure zone which is known as doldrums, and according to Farrell's law, in northern hemisphere, this is the northern hemisphere, this is the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, the wind deviates towards the right, and in the southern hemisphere the wind deviates towards the left due to Colroy's force, which is a force due to the rotation of the earth. So this is low pressure, this is high pressure. The wind will be coming from here to here. Okay, like this. Being the north, Farrell's law says to deflect towards the right. This is it, this is it, this is it. And in this. So this is in southern, this is in northern hemisphere. These are called northeastern trade wind. Northeast trade winds. This is the southern part. This is called southeast trade winds. They are one of the permanent winds what we are talking about. Trade winds. They blow throughout the year. Now this is the high pressure zone, so this will be a low pressure zone. So the wind will be blowing from here to here, as similarly from here to here. Okay, now wind will be going this towards, deflect towards the right. These are called westerlies because they are coming from western sides. Like this, westerlies. This is a low pressure zone, this is a high pressure zone, this is a high pressure zone. The wind will be coming from here. These are called polar easterlies. They are very cold winds. And these all winds are permanent winds. These are polar easterlies because polars are at high pressure. So these were permanent winds which blow throughout the year, and different types of winds are these. Now seasonal winds. As you all know, monsoon comes for 5 months in India, and it is because of the different winds that comes from the Indian Ocean. So they are seasonal for certain amount of time. So these winds blow throughout the year, but they change their direction. Winds change their direction in different seasons. So we have monsoon season, a particular season for monsoon from June to August or September, we can say, direction. And there are local winds, as in April. They are because of the local relief features. Local relief features. Like in April, Lu in northern part of India, Kal Baisakhi in West Bengal, Bodi Silaiya in Assam. Now the next topic is moisture. Moisture is the water content in the air. When water evaporates, it turns into gas. That is what you call moisture. So when water evaporates, the air gets warmer. Gets warmer or not? And its capacity to hold water vapor increases. Capacity to hold water vapor increases. Like the water is evaporating because it is getting heated. The air is evaporating, that is water is evaporating because it is getting heated. So when it reaches certain height, it cools, and that results into the formation of clouds. Clouds are just moisture of water plus dust. So they are clouds, and they are too heavy that they float in the air. And when they cool down rapidly, they cause rain, which is a form of precipitation. So here rainfall is caused by clouds, and we have three kinds of rainfall. First is convectional, second is orographic, and the third is volcanic or cyclonic, we can say. We will be discussing about these three types of rain in next classes. So that's our chapter 4, air. Now we have our chapter 5, that is water, which is an essential component. About 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, as we all know. So the first topic will be water cycle. What is water cycle? The process by which water continually changes its form and circulates between oceans, atmosphere and land. This is ocean, atmosphere and land. The water changes its form and it circulates in between these three. Ocean in the form of liquid, atmosphere in the form of gas, water vapor, and land, it can be in the form of solid like ice. So this is water cycle. From liquid we can get gas, from gas we can get solid, from solid we can get gas also. So there will be a continuous change in between these three phases, and the places will be these three. So that is what you call water cycle. So now the next topic is distribution of water bodies. We all know oceans cover a major portion. Distribution. Ocean contains 97%. Ice cap contains 2%. Groundwater contains 0.6%. And fresh water 0.009%. Ocean circulation. The next topic is ocean circulation. Ocean water keeps on moving Like there are dimensions of the ocean water keeps on moving, and this can be categorized as waves, by waves in the form of waves, tides and currents. Waves, tides and currents. Now the first thing we will be taking as waves. Waves, what are waves? The horizontal and vertical movement of a water at a place is called wave. When the water on a surface of ocean rises and falls, when water on a surface of ocean rises and falls. Tsunami that came on 26th December 2004 was one of the subtypes of waves, tsunami, that caused massive destructions in the Indian subcontinent. Now the next comes tides. When water moves due to gravitational pull of sun and the moon. Pull of sun and moon. When moon is near, moon pulls, it is a high tide. When sun pull, it is a low tide, because moon is closest to the sun. When there is a full moon, the tides are highest, because the sun, the earth and the moon are in a straight line. And when they are at right angles, there is high tide. When sun, earth and moon, all three are in a straight line, that is a time of a high tide. Spring tide, and this is also called spring tide. Now neap tide, and tide heights are not as much. When sun, moon, this is the earth and this is the moon, when they are at right angles, the tide lengths are not as high as spring tide, so that is what you call neap tides. Now ocean currents. Water flows continuously on the ocean surface. So streams of water that continuously flows on the ocean surface. In a particular direction. They influence the temperature also. Warm, and they are of two types. Warm currents warm the coast, and cold currents cools the coast. Cools, warm current warms. And when these two currents meet at a place, so that makes the temperature moderate, and which is a very good fishing ground, which makes the place a very good fishing ground, like the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Fishing ground. So that's all we have in chapter 5 of NCERT. Thank you so much.